Hello you! That phrase is not more apt as we have another outing on Audio Who. Tonight guys we've sat here to discuss The Two Masters with Sylvester McCoy, Alex McQueen and good old crispy one Geoffrey Beevers. This was the third and final story in the Two Masters trilogy, surprisingly enough, from the Big Finish main range. What did we think about this? Well, you're about to find out. But before we get to that, let's get to this. It's your panel for this evening. NYC's on Mr. Will Medina. Well, Super Bowl next week. Go Falcons.
Hey now, you got that right. Go Falcons.
Down in the nutsack is Texas Tim Wells. Timbo.
Howdy.
Good heavy man. Joining us live and in living colour from Tottenham after listening to only 3 parts of a 4-part story is Philip Archer. Phil?
Hello, my little dairies.
Okay, put that away. And joining us early doors as always on a Monday morning, it's the Thunder from Down Under. And no, he's not dressed like Hulk Hogan, it's just his summer. It's AJ. Good day, mate.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah, man. And just joining us, bang in the nick of time, it's Sue. Sue, how are we doing for Cali? Apparently sign language is appropriate.
Hello, hello.
And there we go. Yeah, very sombre, but here nevertheless. Good to have you, dear. So, guys, the Two Masters. Hell of a lot going on here. We've got various factions. We have the Rocket Men, albeit a pretty shitty version of them at the beginning of this. We have the Cult of the Heretic. We have two Masters in opposite bodies. And we have a 7th Doctor who has to put all this together and solve the problem. Where to begin? Right, AJ, can I get your opening thoughts please on the Two Masters, mate? Sylvester McCoy, Alex McQueen and Geoffrey Beevers.
Yeah, I didn't mind the story. It was very long and a little bit timey-wimey and a little bit convoluted, but I still liked it. The banter between the two masters picking on each other back and forth. It's sort of like when the 3 Doctors first met and they're all trying to say, I'm the best one. So, yeah, it was a very good story, though. I did enjoy the death scenes and people being shrunk down to Lilliputian size.
Okay. And as well as getting the cast list up, can I get your opening thoughts on this, man?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like you said earlier, this is the last of the trilogy. This one bugged me out a little bit because they kept jumping around timey-wimey, so to speak. But like since we realized last week that Alex McQueen master was Geoffrey Beevers in his body, we knew we had this story had to show how that came about. Yep. Like you said, the Rocket Man being very pathetic in the beginning of the story, which the only thing out of that was that the Doctor met, you could say, a companion named Jemima. I think that's her name is.
Jemima. Didn't know her too long, but she was there. Yeah. Yeah.
So he made a supposedly companion out of that. What's weird is the whole thing was created by this sort of cult.
Yep.
Which is weird, and they worship a being that I never heard of before. I don't think so, which makes no sense. But the way it makes it look like that this being was a Time Lord at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain who this person is, if he ever existed in any of the previous Doctor stories or anything like that. Which makes me confuse me a little bit right there. But of course, the best part was seeing the two masters argue with each other, and one claiming to be more better than the other. But they both agreed on one thing, that they hated being inside that decayed body because of all the pain that it experiences for being like that. So that really stood out. This one was a weird thing, but then if you listen to the whole thing, part of the story, the 7th Doctor is not in it because either he was being tied up or supposedly died, or he took his time to show up. So it was pretty good because I really like to see these two masters, even though you hear them argue with each other a lot of time. You see how different they are from being the same character because their personality is very different. One needs to talk before he kills somebody, while the other one just do it out, out of spite. So that really stood out pretty good. Would this mean these two idiots will ever meet each other again? I really doubt it because I don't see them getting along with even though they're the same person, they don't get along with one another. Just like we seen doctors not getting along, meeting his other self. So that really stood out like that. It's not bad.
Okay, mate. Timbo, how about you with this one, mate? Two Masters.
Yeah, the fun bit is the two actors have a lot of fun mimicking the other actor's performance as the same character in a way, because it couldn't have been easy for them because, to be fair, they probably don't know each other's work. This is the first time they're working together. They probably had to do a little homework on that. But it's also got a lot of good ideas. The idea that the rocket men in the future have devolved into a bunch of idiots pretty much. They're no longer the powerful organization they once were. Now they're just a bunch of assholes. And and this is a bit of a Dr. Light story, but that actually suits it too, because these two guys hog the stage pretty much, and it's very appropriate. I didn't mind the timey-wiminess of it because I think that's kind of cool. You get to a certain point in the story, and then I think episode 3 is like a flashback where it tells you what you've missed, so it catches you up. It's very cleverly handled. Yeah, it's very cleverly handled by Dorney, who wrote it, John Dorney, and it's well done. I mean, it's once again, the seventh Doctor is the Doctor that just walks into the last few scenes and says, "All right, I've got this sorted out," and he pretty much sorts it out. I mean, so it's really an interesting story. It was a lot of fun to listen to. It effectively ties up the previous two stories to the things you might have been confused about with the previous two stories. This ties up all the it resolves everything. So it's very good.
Excellent. Yeah, it really was. Yeah, reboot the universe. Why not? That's a solution. Yeah. Sue, how about you? Two Masters.
Well, I was incredibly interested in the way the two Masters.
You sound it.
And I kept going, well, what in the world is going to happen with these two? But then I'd remember, I'd have it in the back of my mind, I guess, and I'd keep reminding myself that the seventh Doctor is there, and he's probably orchestrating bits of it and behind some of it, and it will solve it all. And so, it was incredible. Like, the seventh Doctor was really the perfect foil for these two as a team and as opponents. I mean, it was just fun. It was super amazing. And so I really I enjoyed it a lot.
Spectacular. Philip, 3 parts only. How about you?
Oh, I would have finished it within a little time. But anyway, I love this. This is a very good story. Yes, as Tim says, it's got a lot of timey-wiminess, but it does sort of catches you up along the way, so you know what the score is. You know what? I really enjoyed mostly Geoffrey Beevor's impersonation of the Queen's Master, in the sense that he's having so much fun as the Master, and he really just goes around just being, a joke of the pack kind of thing. And but then at the same time, I also realised that Beaver's in McCoy's, it's confusing, but Beaver's as McQueen is so ruthless in killing all those rocket men willy-nilly, and it's like,
I'm having fun.
I know. So I thought that was brilliant, and it was good. You know what? It was also good that McQueen was kind of subdued to his more campy persona that I'm used to, that I don't really like. But so I liked him in this one very much because he was more controlled as the Master, or one of them anyway. And it was nice that they were bickering and they were trying to avoid going back into that desiccated body trichonite husk. And it kind of rewrites the book, Legend of the Daleks, where Susan's supposed to cause the Master's demise into that crispy body.
It's explained how that might have happened.
Yeah.
If you would have bothered listening to the 4th chapter.
No. Because you hear in the third chapter that the Queen Master is using some device to cause him pain to make him end up being a crispy burnt version where he almost dies, and those people from the cult collects him and puts him in that device to make him stop.
But it is stating that for him being reduced to his crippled state by the blast, the two can be reconciled with the assumption that the younger master survived Susan's attack and subsequently found another TARDIS to begin his raid on the Thesaurus. You know that.
Yeah, that they make it clear that he was on Tercerus, or however you pronounce it, when this happened to him, and that directly ties into his first appearance in that form in The Deadly Assassin, because that's where Goth says they were at. That's where he ran into the Master and fell under his spell. So
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the book you're mentioning, but I mean, I'm guessing they didn't contradict it.
Well, in a way, no, they didn't. But because the book, like I said, the book has Susan causing his demise by using his own tissue compression. I can't say it. Tissue compression, TCE, against him, and that caused his body to burn out.
That still might have happened. They didn't deny that. They just didn't mention it.
Oh, I thought it was the Queen Master that caused that problem when they were both on Tercerus, and he caught up with him and caused him that suffering before those cult people came along.
It was in this story.
Remember in the novel, it's saying he was thrown into his toilet. It didn't say that he was reduced to nothing or maybe a thing. So that's what coming in the end of the story. He goes back there. He was sent back there. So where God will find him.
I've got you now. That makes sense. My apologies.
See, listen to the all 4 parts.
I would have done. Anyway, overall, it's a cracking story. It's a brilliant tale, and it's highly recommended by me.
There you go. Yep, and hang on, I'll be right back. Somebody talk. Stall.
The weird thing is, even though she's only the young lady that you could say was his companion for a little while, Lauren Crace that played her, which is weird because this is one of the, besides the 11th Doctor doing the same thing in the Big Bang when he did that Big Bang thing again, that he created the universe again, the 7th Doctor, but in the end he brought the girl back to life, which is unusual because
he regarded everything back to how it was before all of this happened is what he did. So of course she wasn't dead anymore, but she wasn't. He probably forgot about her. She wakes up back at home before she even was with those people. The what do you call them?
Oh, the pirates.
Rocket Men.
Yeah,
the Rocket
pirates, the Rocket Men. So I mean, it's basically everything goes back to status quo, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's funny that he didn't use it to like eliminate, like the master was saying, you could eliminate the Daleks, the Cybermen, and all this nonsense. But he didn't do that. He just left everything stay the way it is.
Well, I'm sure that was fascinating. I'll watch it on the playback. But as for me, yeah, another winner here for John Donnelly for me, man. Part 3 in this story steals the show for me, man. It's the McQueen and Beavers show. As the guys have alluded to, the banter back and forth, and even some of the nuances when they're playing one another before they revert back to the original forms. Quite good. Sylvester McCoy, although he's light in this, he does an adequate job, and as Tim alluded to, you do get an adequate resolution to all the underlying threads of the previous 2 stories. So top notch and 2 thumbs up from me for 2 masters. Go figure. Right guys, any events, characters or instances which stood out for you? I feel I might have 1 or 2 things mentioned here. Well, what do you reckon?
Well, the one thing that I was able to see that the 7th Doctor stood up because he knew the Alice McQueen master because of the Union Dominion. That's because and he realized that he was the master, but not the McQueen. That he knew that their minds were switched. That's how he realized it, because he would have recognized it from the unit story. And then the way of course the crispy one was acting and talking like the McQueen did in the unit story.
That's how he knew. Too much fun. Yeah,
he knew something was up. So that's how when he showed up in the 4th chapter, he realized what was going on like that. And of course, he had explained to them, you can't switch bodies with me because that it would not work because of you being from the past. That you would eliminate your future self, even though they didn't believe him, but that's the way it was. Of course, the masters stood out in this story because even though they switched minds like that, and it was explained how it was done,
Mm.
You could tell that the future I can say in future the Jeffrey Beaver's one was desperately trying to get a body because of the pain he was suffering from being in his current state.
Mm-hmm.
So that even though the Seventh Doctor sent him back to where he is, you know that from now on that's on his mind is to get rid of that pain that he's suffering from. As for the McQueen Master, he stood out because I mean he would do anything in his power to destroy the freaking universe, and he don't care. He'd be the last one standing. And that's way out there that we ever seen him before. And the funny thing is that this story, well, I don't know, maybe somebody can explain it. We still don't know how this guy became the master of the McQueen. Because we know that supposedly that the mind was, you know, that he came out of nowhere. We don't know where this regeneration came from.
The only clue we got was I think it was in Dark Eyes 2, where he basically says, "You took me out of my predicament and gave me this." That's all he said, really. So.
So we don't know if he's another stolen body.
No, yet, no. All I basically alluded to in that Dark Eye story when he was Dr. Death, the dentist guy taking the eyes, was they took me out of my predicament and now I'm here because they needed me to. Again, it seems to be some type of intervention with the Time Lord, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I was going to say maybe he was the Time Lord. The Time War Master maybe during.
As we discussed last week, we don't know yet.
Ran away.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't know which master that was.
All righty. Sue, hitting standard for you.
Well, I really enjoyed the bits in the back and forth, the two masters flipping personalities, and I love all the interplay with all the TARDISes, because I was trying to like track which TARDIS was going which way, and that was really fun. It was quite an interesting story. I mean, it carried a lot of it had a lot of cool plot points, and really it was so. All
right, fair enough. Philip, how about you?
Like I mentioned earlier, I loved the massacre of the rocket people.
Oh yeah.
That was my favourite bit out of the whole thing, because that was just a callous thing. We just had so much fun. Didn't give a screw. And also the demise of the short-lived companion. That was just so unexpected.
No, wasn't it? We can't be fucking beavers.
No, but that wasn't that master. That was the McQueen master. And that just shows me, and that tells me he's much more of a basket than the crippled one.
You can say bastard on this show, Phil.
Okay, he's just as much of a bastard as the crippled one, even worse so. So, and that's what I liked about the whole thing. I love Jeffrey Beaver's playing that particular master.
Yeah. Tim, stand up for you, mate.
Well, yeah, the bit with the two masters arguing with each other constantly over, you know, how to behave was very funny, because I mean it reminds you of all those multi-doctor stories where they kind of bicker with each other, but the title's crap. I mean that was obviously a throwback to the TV series. Oh, we'll call it the two masters, like the two doctors, or the five doctors. You know, I mean, it's just, it shows a lack of imagination. I would have called it masterpiece or something, you know, or something different. But I get what they were going with. So I mean. But yeah, that's the funnest thing about it. Like you said, you get to episode 3 and then the story is firing on all cylinders, because you just have these two impossible bastards just arguing with each other about how to approach their evilness, and it's pretty clever how they do it, you know. And it is a bloodthirsty story too. Almost everybody dies. Yeah. I mean, except these three. Dorney points that out in the extras. This is my highest death count yet. So it's just like, ooh, my highest death count. Yeah. Pretty good stuff.
Very good, mate. Very good. Yep. Where else we go? AJ?
Yeah, I like at the beginning of the story how there was a time limit. You know, the universe.
Uh-oh. You there, mate?
I like when there's like a counting.
The countdown before the ship hits the planet.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're lagging a wee bit there, mate.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Go for it. Yep.
Yeah, I like counting clocks. It must be my internet. I like countdown the clock. Basically, how you got a time limit before
Right.
something disastrous happens. No longer useful. Sorry.
No,
Hello.
you're there, mate. It's just it's lagging a bit. We got the gist of that. The counting clock.
Yeah, and the TARDIS. Yeah, and the Master how he says his TARDIS is a piece of crap.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 What is the Blibovich limitation effect?
And also how the Master claims himself to be Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're lucky and all that. Yeah.
That's true.
The Blibovich effect is where you can't really meet one the same aspect of yourself without and touch them, because it causes an explosion.
Oh, the Brigadier thing for Brain and Morbius.
Yeah. From one of those stories. Isn't it?
No, Brain and Modern and Dead. Sorry, fuck Brain and Morbius. Where am I getting that from?
More than Dead and David Daleks.
Yeah.
It's Sunday.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man.
But who is the heretic?
Good bloody question.
So what? I'm thinking it's someone like one of Razalon's chummies along the way.
One of his chummies.
Yeah, one of his lackeys back in the day.
I don't know. Like,
All right. Will, anything for you, mate?
no, I thought maybe it was going to be Omega or maybe Morbius or something like that.
Who knows?
Good point. Morbius could have been one of those.
Anything done it for you, Will? Or did I get you? I can't remember. It's Sunday.
Why does it have to be someone new, this heretic? Why couldn't it be?
No, it had to be somebody from the past because it was from the old. It's from a. You hear the story. This cult existed for a very long time, and they've been keeping themselves hidden from everybody.
All right.
Well,
So
why does
that's-
it have to be somebody that we know? Why couldn't it be totally a different Time Lord?
It probably is not somebody we know. I think you're right. So I think it is somebody that maybe they'll come follow up on it later or something. Or it could just be they just want to leave it open so you can think about it.
Maybe like Phil said, it could be Rassilon's hooker. What the hell?
Oh dear. Yeah. So that's why he was naming those toys in the Five Masters. Anyway.
Oh,
Anything for you, Will?
Well, what's weird that the Seventh Doctor when he restarted the universe again and bring the girl back.
Yeah.
Which really he didn't take advantage of it, do something else out of it, which could have helped him maybe like in the future. When the Time War because I know he's aware of it that the Time War is coming, so I'm stuck that he didn't do nothing about that.
But for the last time,
Is he He's not aware of it, is he?
Yeah,
Why would he be
he's aware.
aware of it?
He's aware of it because in one of the storyline, somebody mentioned remember that somebody woke up from the last time they woke up was doing a war. The when the Time Lords was at war, so these people woke up again. That means they were activated because of the Time War. Is that they show up on the time of the Seventh Doctor? Is that he wasn't aware of it, but now he was aware of it. I thought we did a review of that a while back.
I'm sorry. I just don't think that would affect his behavior. If he knows there's something bad in the future, of course he's going to try to avoid it. But I mean, if he was so aware of it, then the Eighth Doctor would even be more aware about it and be moping around all the time. Oh man, the Time War's coming to them, which he never did. So I'm just saying, like, he may be aware of something vague, but I wouldn't think he knows exactly what's going to happen in the future. That's something that McGann learns, his doctor learns eventually, and why he ends up turning into that guy.
It's just one of the instances where Big Finish throw stuff up there to mix the old and the new. You can read into it what you want. I mean,
yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah. And for me, well, as the guys have mentioned, it's McQueen and Beavers all the way. That scene where he's basically castrating them for wanting, he's wanting to basically kill somebody, and he's got this big pun prepared, and Beavers just shoots him dead. What the hell did you do that for? Well, it was a pun. I was going to say you're going to shrink you. A pun. Oh, shut up.
What's funny is the third time they get to that joke was with the doctor. And he asked him, "Do you want to say anything before this one?"
Ooh, thank you. Oh man, brilliant, absolutely great banter between Beavers and McQueen, and they really carry this. They really do. Top-notch stuff once again by John Donnelly. Right, guys, open mic portion of the cast. I know we've already discussed a lot here, probably, but anything else you want to bring up before we get this rated? And in you can.
The sound effects were very interesting. It sounded like pages flipping back several times as the time was shifting back to normal or something. It was pretty cleverly done, as usual. But it was pretty loud and in your face quite a bit too. So
We kind of didn't mention that McQueen's master's little henchmen, the crystallized people, but they weren't that much of a thing in the story, to be honest. So that was kind of like a wasted little.
Oh, you mean the ones that you had?
Little mini war that was
controller that all died when they opened the sound wave thing, the box.
Yeah, I thought that was nice, hearing them collapse into little trinkets.
Yeah.
Well, I liked how they brought the rocket men back and then just totally said these guys are
fuck off.
And then and immediately just killed them all. Like they just got rid of them really quick. Like, okay, it was a useful introduction to the story. Like we said before, there's a high death count in the story because just about every supporting character dies. I mean, it's
no, what's funny is that says, I remember the Rocket Man. I thought I destroyed them. And then you hear the man saying, oh yeah, those pathetic losers. I remember them too. And that was from, of course, we remember them because when the fourth Doctor ran into them.
Yeah.
It was funny. Those pathetic losers, yeah. They've certainly come down a lot since they entered the initial outing with Chatterton and good old Bill Hartnell.
I think that was the point, wasn't it? It was to say in their future that they're just a redundant group of leftovers instead of being a big, well-known baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And we also had the obligatory Treasure Planet joke when Jemima got called Jim Lad, you know. But there you go. Whatever. Anything else, guys?
I like the classic sound effects. I like the classic sound effects in this episode from the 60s and all that.
Yeah.
And I think it's also good that they show that Beaver's master was quite happy to use a staser rather than TCE whilst the master is a TCE, lover, basically.
Well, everybody has their vice, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And the sound effect of people being shrunk was pretty graphic, wasn't it? I mean, it almost sounded like a kind of thing,
Crush that cup.
It's good. Yeah. That's why I like this story, because you never get to hear him use that device very often. And this one, he used it to the fullest, man. So,
the funny thing is, you never saw that happen on TV, though. You never saw it actually happen. You just saw the little doll after the effect, right?
Oh yeah, the after thing, yeah.
Well, to be fair, what's
that? You did see it a few times, I think, where he shrunk a few people down. They had the green screen effect, and they shrunk the people. I remember seeing it at least twice.
Was that time? No, the one with the one in that old village type place with Connie Baker. What was that one called again? I can't remember. With Perry.
Mark Irani.
That's the one.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, I was just trying to think.
Yeah, that's the one with the big black dildo.
Oi!
The people.
Leave me out of it. But yeah.
That's coming for the guy who can't stand the camp master.
Wow.
Or a master in a dress.
Yeah, there you go.
I really, really loved the camp master. He was awesome.
Which one are you referring to, Sue?
Yeah, which one? They're all camp now.
Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts. Yeah, that's a story for another day. If Big Finish ever get him, man, my God, we're going to have a field day.
I wonder if they've asked him.
But I think it would be. I hope one day that they would give the rights over for the BBC to use Alexander McQueen as a live master on the TV show. That'd be nice to see him play it out.
Even if it's just a one-off, I'd agree with that. I don't know if I'd do it too many times. Right, are we done?
Yeah.
It's that time again.
To tip our hat up and say goodbye to John Hurt.
Indeed. Rest well, my warrior. The two masters. Sylvester McCoy, Alex McQueen and Jeffrey Beavers. Sue, what do you get us out of 10?
I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. Good story.
Well, excellent. AJ, what's the number from down under?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 as well. It was a really good story, and especially with the master referring to himself as Goldilocks. So
Goldilocks, minus the free bears, why not? Timbo, what's the number from Techiko?
I'm gonna give this one a 10 because it does a really good job of tying it all up together and is very entertaining listen, and that's to me that's a good 10.
Excellent. Stupendous. Well, go for it.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I love the part when the masters this is the 6th and 5th Doctor. They're giving them funny names for them. That really stood out. I give it a 9.
Okay. And Philip?
Well, the Master's always been a favourite villain of mine throughout Doctor Who, so it's always going to get a 10 for me. Whatever he's in, it's going to be a 10. So yeah, it's a 10.
Whatever he's in?
No, whatever Master story pops up in, it's always going to be a 10 for me because I love the Master. So.
Okay, well, there you go.
Except the one in the skirt.
Oh, behave yourself.
So you gave Time Flight a 10, huh?
Yeah.
Defo.
Oh, dear God. Time flight. That's a story for another day again. And for me, I'll agree with the consensus in here tonight. Folks, I'll give this a solid 9. Absolutely crispy, absolutely delicious, and a damn right good listen. Good old John Dorney. High praise indeed. And with that, the book is closed. This was in the can, and we are done for the evening. Join us next week when we will be taking a trip with Paul McGann and Sheridan Smith in story number 1 of series 3 of the 8th Doctor's Adventures, entitled, Philip?
Orbis.
This story takes place just after the
Morbius
encounter with the Morbius once again and the Sisterhood of Khan. So yeah, we'll pick that up and see what happened to good old number 8. Is it great? We'll find out next week. Well, guys, please check out all our usual mates and mateettes on the wonderful wacky world of the YouTube. You've got the guys and dolls that Geeks assembled with everything geekdom. You get Dr. Freedom and his daily news broadcasts, his Amiga Files, and the adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric. Go listen. Sue there with Talbot's Blue Radio. Harry with Doctor Who News. Go read a book and have a cup of coffee. Johnny Blues, Sammy Carter, Mike Shannon whenever he's online. You know the drill by now. Go like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And with that, my tea's getting cold. I'm going to put some vodka in it. I'm going to drink it. To the panel, thanks for your attendance. We'll see you next week. And with that, we are out of here. Later, folks. And take care.